Well, the whispers emanating from the Old Trafford boardroom, the thumping, angry bass of the dressing room, the boos echoing after another home failure. They're not exactly the pleasant sounds of music. So how do you solve a problem like Mourinho? Gary Neville says don't. It's not him, it's them, those who overruled, denied him. And if they did let it be known that he was to be sacked this weekend, come what may, undermined him. But like Rodgers and Hammerstein, Jose will always be special, but not necessarily number one. The way football clubs and dressing rooms are now, it is all set to a different beat. The bare facts, United without a win in 4. Only once since 1999 have they gone 5 without a win. They're 9 points off the lead, 6 points behind Bournemouth. Old Trafford not selling out, and there are more leaks from the Manchester United dressing room than from a kitchen colander. It has to improve. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what the genesis, it will be. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Here's the team news. Manchester United make 3 changes from the midweek draw at home to Valencia. De Gea's the goalkeeper, and then the back 4 looks like this: Ashley Young, Smalling, Bailly and Shaw, Pogba, Matic and McTominay in midfield, Rashford, Lukaku and Martial going forward. It's Dubravka in goal for Newcastle, Yedlin, Lascelles, Fernandes, Manquillo, then Ritchie, Diame, Shelvey, Kennedy and Iosi Perez supporting Muto in attack. The 9.5 million summer acquisition from Mainz in the Bundesliga. All 6 of his appearances so far has been at Asabi. Starts today at Old Trafford with the hope of upsetting the Manchester United supporters even more. Newcastle, lest we forget, are yet to win so far this season. Stuart, how much of a threat do they pose to Manchester United?
Well, we covered the game at Manchester City, and I expect a Newcastle outfit to come and play in a similar vein. Defend very deep, hopefully stay in the game as long as possible, and hopefully nick something on the counter-attack. I think the timing of the first goal, if there's going to be one in the game, will be really important. If that first goal comes from Newcastle, I think the stadium then will be very, very edgy, I think, and the atmosphere change slightly. If United get the first goal and get the ascendancy in the game, I think the place could be rocking. It's almost a surreal atmosphere, as we've seen before, both downstairs and in the stadium.
Live boxing overnight on Talksport. Callum Johnson fighting in Chicago for the light heavyweight title. Tomorrow, Southampton against Chelsea. On Wednesday, our exclusive cricket coverage starts. That's just a short list of my favourite things. Here's the rest. Live Premier League football. The big story of the weekend. Stuart Pearce in the commentary box. Forget the sound of music. The only noise you need for the next 90 minutes is live and exclusive national radio commentary of Manchester United against Newcastle, and it's only on Talksport. Our referee today is Anthony Taylor, who's just back from Moscow, where he was on Champions League duty. He checks his watch, blows his whistle, and we're off and underway with Manchester United in those ruby red jerseys and black shorts, shooting from left to right towards the scoreboard end, and Newcastle United wearing those teal third kits with black numbers on the back, shooting from right to left. And if Manchester United cannot beat this Newcastle United side, the growing pressure on Jose Mourinho will become almost unbearable. Ball given away by Federico Fernandez. It's quickly picked up by Kennedy. That's a short back pass to his goalkeeper, who comes rushing out, and Dubravka clears out towards this near side. It's just about kept in by Muto. Picked up by McTominay in the centre of midfield. There was discussions about McTominay being used as a central defender last week. He's back in midfield today. Do you think that midfield is dynamic enough with Matic, McTominay and Pogba?
I think more importantly is what's in front of them. I'm pleased to see that he's put Rashford in today and Martial. If they push up and get some support near Lukaku, I mean, there's been a couple of games I've watched them, namely the West Ham game and the Watford game, where it's so important that you get runners up in and around Lukaku, and he ended up being isolated too many times in games gone by.
Ashley Young, who's captaining the team today, takes it out towards the near right-hand side and shoots it up the touchline. It's taken just 1 minute and 20 seconds for the Newcastle fans to start singing "You're Getting Sacked" in the morning to Jose Mourinho, who's standing next to his old foe, Rafa Benitez, in the technical area. Here's Young into Rashford, halfway inside opposition territory. It's a beautiful autumnal evening in Manchester. Slight nip in the air, bright blue sky, the floodlights on here, the whole playing surface in shade, just a smidgen of sunshine separating the top and bottom tier of the stand away to our right. We're in the south stand, just right at the halfway line as Ashley Young tries to clear, can't do so. Perez robbed by McTominay. The ball runs to Matic, and the £40 million man finds the £90 million man Pogba through the centre of midfield. Out wide it goes to the Frenchman Martial, who races forward, looks for Pogba, tries to play a 1-2, gets it. They're 10 yards outside the box here, almost came through to McTominay, and Rashford had made a dart into the area. The diagonal ball didn't reach him, and it's cleared out towards the far side, and Matt Ritchie will bring it away for Newcastle United. He runs towards the centre circle and then is rather aggressively challenged by Eric Bailly. That's going to be a free kick to Newcastle over on the far side.
I think it's really important, Sam, that if you're Manchester United and you've had all this publicity coming your direction, that your team, whenever I used to come here and play, United used to get on the front foot, whip the crowd up into a frenzy, get the ball out to their wingers that run at you and caused havoc. And I'm not seeing that intensity with United from the offset.
Shelvey sends the ball forward. It's controlled by Muto on the edge of the D. The cross from Diame is just a little bit too hefty. He spoons it out to the far side, and then eventually Shaw will bring it through midfield up to Matic, and they'll play out here, Manchester United. 0-0 the score, 3.5 minutes gone on Talksport as Young moves up towards halfway. Stopped by Kennedy, goes back to McTominay, the long and lean Scotsman, 21 years of age. Plays it all the way back to Smalling, and Smalling now will try to spark an attack. Here is Pogba, wearing gloves today. Turns and tries to play a crossfield ball out to the wide right, and Ashley Young, who receives it. He's level with the edge of the area when he whips across in towards the far post, looking for Lukaku. It was misjudged by Lascelles, that went over his head. Lukaku couldn't get on the end of it. I think he'd given up the ghost, and it goes out on the far side, straight out for a throw into Newcastle United.
Yeah, what we're talking about, dictating a tempo to the game. McTominay in that phase of play had the opportunity, ball at his feet, he's facing forward. Lukaku makes a great run in behind. He turns out and goes backwards, and it takes another, minute of the attack to get the ball into a crossing area. For me, early stages of the game, get the opposition turned round.
Why do players do that?
I think that they think to themselves, the thought process of the game isn't important to them potentially early on. What you've got to do, Newcastle have come to Manchester United with a bit of fear in their heart, you know what I mean? Because they're going to the great Manchester United and everything that throws up. You've got to put them on the back foot with your demeanour if you're wearing a red shirt today. The more you go backwards and sideways at Old Trafford, the more it suits Newcastle.
Ritchie delivers a ball into the area after a Lukaku foul, gives a free kick to Newcastle. It's crossfield, right to left, and it falls to Lukaku, who tries to clear but ends up shanking it out of play, and it's away for a throw-in level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Newcastle on the attack here. They've got an alarming record, Newcastle. They're 2 points prior to today in the Premier League this season, yet just 2 points have both come with 0-0 draws with Cardiff and Crystal Palace. Here come Manchester United breaking out from that situation. Pogba's gone back in instead of going forward to Martial, so it's slowed the attack, and Newcastle have got men behind the ball. It's out on the wide left with Anthony Martial, stocky and brawny but very speedy when on the ball. Pogba to the leaner Marcus Rashford, who gives it away, picked up by Muto, and then back to Shelvey. Shelvey tries to release Iosi Perez, and Manchester United just about deal with that.
Once again, McTominay received the ball in the centre circle. What does he do? Turn out, go backwards, face his defence. You've got to get on the half turn and go forward.
Pogba, left side, moving in beyond Matt Ritchie, going back to Chris Smalling. Scored against Newcastle in the 4-1 home win last season. He sends it forward to Martial, back to Matic. Matic now, a couple of steps forward on the left side, then into Luke Shaw, then Martial, and then again it's scrappy from Manchester United. It's not 100%, and it's given straight to Newcastle. The turnover of possession is cheap, and Newcastle can try and build something with a throw over on the far side.
There's definitely an element of fear in all the United players at this moment in time. You can tell in their demeanour when they receive the ball.
Here's Kennedy at the other end, signed by Mourinho, gets it onto his left foot and shoots towards the far corner. And oh my word, Manchester United have conceded after 7 minutes, and Kennedy has scored his first goal of the season for Newcastle. Signed by Jose Mourinho at Chelsea. He comes back to haunt him at Old Trafford. A quick ball down the right side towards the edge of the area. Kennedy checked back in on his left foot, and from the edge of the 18-yard box, he pummeled it into the far corner, beyond David De Gea. And now it's Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 1, and Jose Mourinho's tenure at Manchester United is going from bad to worse.
Yeah, really poor play there. Fantastic movement, great ball, and Kennedy was allowed time to run in the inside right channel, and then from there Ashley Young not tight enough. And I've got to say, beautiful finish by the way into the far corner. We've got to give him credit for that. But United have played within themselves, played a little bit nervously, and all it's done is encourage Newcastle to come on the front foot.
It is the first time this season that Newcastle United have taken the lead, and they lead by a goal to 0. And they've done it at Manchester United. And with all those problems weighing down heavy on the shoulders of their Portuguese manager, Manchester United have played within themselves and with apprehension in the opening 8.5 minutes, and they have suffered. Shelvey forward to the right. Ayoze Perez tries to squeeze it back in towards the 6-yard box. It's a corner to Newcastle, and the Newcastle fans away to our right-hand side, absolutely delirious about the start to the game.
Yeah, well, quite amazing really, the support that the Toon fans bring down. I mean, I've had a couple of years at the club and saw it firsthand, just incredible, and the manager's support that Rafa gets is incredible as well here.
Here's the corner to be taken by Shelvey, arcing it out towards Diame. It's cleared away by Manchester United, who are absolutely shell-shocked. Unbelievable start to the game, and with all the headlines, the back pages of the papers this morning suggesting he'd be sacked whether or not he won or lost. The last thing he wanted to do was concede early on, and they might concede again here because Mutu's turning and smashing the ball beyond David De Gea. It's collapsing for Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford. Fired into the box. Mutu, the Japanese international, held it up with his back to goal. He's then turned and fired low and hard behind De Gea. And Manchester United are 2 behind inside 10 minutes at Old Trafford. This is absolutely catastrophic for Mourinho. It's 2 goals for Rafa Benitez and Newcastle United, and Manchester United absolutely stunned.
I think at half-time and at the end of this game there's going to be a lot said about the manager, both managers of both teams, but the players themselves have got to have a long, hard look at this. There's 1 or 2 running for cover. You could tell, I could see it early on, their body language going backwards instead of forwards, instead of getting on the front foot. And the room that's allowed in the Manchester United box, I've never seen room like that for decades.
Should the goalkeeper have stopped that?
I'm not sure the goalkeeper should, but before it got to the goalkeeper, there's 2 or 3 defenders that allowed Newcastle the freedom of Old Trafford.
This is shambolic defending from Manchester United. This is a terrible start to the game for them. They look sheepish, they look apprehensive, they look as if they've gone into their shell. They look like they're not playing for the manager.
I think the only thing you can say in United's favour at this stage of the game as a player, if you're wearing a red shirt, is you've got nothing to lose now. You're going to have to get on the front foot because you've got to turn a 2-0 deficit down after 10 minutes, which is incredible. One
thing I will say is the cameras pan to Ed Woodward, as you would expect them to do at this stage, especially with the stories about him being sacked over this weekend, Jose Mourinho. Is that Newcastle United, and we should give them some credit for taking the lead here and going 2-0 in front, but Newcastle United haven't exactly come out all guns blazing themselves here.
No, they've been encouraged, I think, by United's play of turning out and coming backwards when they've had great opportunities of going forwards. And that's, you know, when you come out and play, especially if you're the home side, you have to get on the front foot and lay a blow, lay a couple of gloves on the opposition to put them on the back foot. So we thought Newcastle would come out and defend deep. They haven't had to, Sam.
We thought they'd be resilient, compact, sit deep, fight on the counter, but they haven't had to counter-attack. Here is Matic towards the edge of the area. Rashford tries to get a header in. He glances it out wide. Young tries to swirl it back into Lukaku. It goes out on this near side, and it's picked up on this right for Manchester United, trailing by 2-0. If you're just joining us, just getting into your car, Newcastle lead here. Goals from Kennedy and Muto have changed the complexion of the afternoon again. Another major twist in the future of Jose Mourinho. Here is Pogba trying to get away from Kennedy into Young. Young is brought down by Muto, and it's going to be a free kick. The other problem they've got here, Manchester United, Stuart Pearce, is the fact that Newcastle United actually quite a resilient team. They don't concede too many goals, and now you're 2-0 down at home against them. I mean, even if you do put loads of pressure on them, there's no guarantees you're going to be able to make them wilt.
I don't think you can afford to really give any team in the Premier League a 2-goal start, especially someone as well organised. And listen, they've got an outstanding manager, Newcastle, that coaches this team very well, especially in the arts of being resilient defensively.
Here's the free kick then to be taken on this near side by Ashley Young. He's about 6 yards in from the right side. He's curled in towards the far post. McTominay arriving. His header is a looping one. Doesn't really hit the target. It sort of goes just wide of goal and then almost run out by Yedlin on this near side. It's out for a quick Manchester United throw, which Young wants, but there's not enough movement in front of him. He's looking for someone to give the ball to. Pogba sends it back to Young. Young round the corner to Rashford. Rashford across to Matic. Oh, it's a poor ball by Rashford. It's cut out by Perez, who races to halfway. He needs some support. Muto provides it down the left side. Bailly comes across, gets in front of him, then just falls over. Referee says play on initially, and then eventually the free kick has been given to Eric Bailly on this near side, but he went down very, very quickly and under very little pressure. Let me tell you that you're listening to Talksport. It's Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2, with Justy, the app for all your takeaway needs.
There's a director's box to our left that I sit in when I've come up here on under-21 duties. I've never seen it as empty as it actually is now. There's literally nobody in there.
There's about 10-15 rows of director's box seats, isn't there? And there's a good 6 or 7 that are full right at the front, but as you say, towards the back of both sides, pretty empty. Mike Ashley is actually sitting not too far away from us, and he's got a massive smile on his face, and he fist pumped the air when the second goal went in.
I think he's just booked another reservation for next week at a restaurant in Pontyland, actually.
Don't know what was in that pasta, but I'm going to have some.
Well, let's give him some wind, whatever it is.
15 minutes gone, you're listening to Talksport. What a stunning first 15 minutes.
It's probably, for us, the absolute ideal start to the game in many ways, isn't it, you know?
Rashford's corner from the far side, in towards the near post, flicked behind and away, and out for a corner kick to Manchester United. It's their second of the game. What do you mean?
Well, I just think there was so much speculation coming into the game, and so much talk about the managers, United's performance and everything. We needed something to happen in the game that weren't just a stodgy defensive performance by Newcastle and United struggling to break them down. Something's happened in this game. 2 goals have been scored very early on by the away team. So for me, it's forcing United to come out and play with some flair. Young
with the corner towards the back post. Bailly sends it into a very congested 6-yard box. It's brought down by Ritchie, who hammers it clear. Rashford skating backwards, managed to keep Manchester United into possession. He sends it into Young. Young's ball to him is not great, and it just flicks out of play and away for a throw into Newcastle. Rafa's running from the technical area up to the box where just behind the dugouts the substitutes are sort of sitting, and he's having a word with one of his assistants. Jose Mourinho in a long rain jacket, is standing on the edge of the technical area, and he's going to make a change here. He's going to make a change, Jose. After 16 minutes, Jose Mourinho is going to do what Jose Mourinho used to do. And if things were going... I remember him doing it at Newcastle United in his first spell at Chelsea, when he made a change in the first half. I think, did he take a left back on and put Duff at left back, or was it Glenn Johnson that he took off? I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what it was.
At Fulham, after 20 minutes, he made 2 subs.
He did.
You know, I think it was Joe Cole and Sean Wright-Phillips, someone like that come on and off. But it's, well,
it's Mata who's going to come on.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a change here in the early stages of the game, Manchester United, to respond to this 2-0 deficit that they now face against Newcastle, a team that haven't even led this season before they played Jose Mourinho's team. Here's Kennedy, just right of the centre circle, taking it out wide towards the right side. It's with Matt Ritchie, and there's space for Shelvey here, and he's arriving late to the edge of the box, and he's shooting, and De Gea has to spring to his left and push it round the post and out for a corner to Newcastle United. Far too much space for Shelvey. As the ball went down the right, it was tucked back into him, 5 yards back from the edge of the area. No one went to close him down, and that was on target.
Yeah, I mean, you know Shelvey can't run away from you, but you know he can shoot as well. They should have got on top of him. I don't know who's coming off. Looks at Mata coming on. For me, it'd be probably McTominay. I think he started the game very negatively.
Here's the corner from Shelvey in towards the near post. It bounces up towards Diarma, who stamps it goalwards. It spirals into the air, and it's caught by De Gea. Immediately tries to release it downfield, looking for Martial. It's not going to reach its intended target. DeAndre Yedlin is underneath it, and he manages to clear, but Matic wins the header, nudges it into the path of Rashford, who in turn finds the Frenchman Martial. An urgency required from Manchester United. Can they get back into this game? Martial down the left, tries a Cruyff turn, gives it to Ritchie. Wow.
I know it's been so poor, this start from United.
Matic swirling the ball out wide to Ashley Young. Young teasing his way towards the edge of the box. It's blocked by Kennedy, goes out of play, and it's out for a corner to Manchester United. The change that's taking place, Bailly coming off and Mata coming on. So I would imagine that either Matic or McTominay will go into the back 4 and Mata will go into midfield. Your thoughts, Stuart Pearce?
Well, unless he wants to switch to a 3 of some description, I really don't know. Until sort of this corner's out the way, we'll see what sort of formation he's going to. But, well, he needed to do something.
It's the corner aimed in towards Matic, whose header is a firm one, but it's straight into the gloves of Martin Dubravka away to our right-hand side. We've played 19 minutes. It's Newcastle United 2, Manchester United 0 at Old Trafford. And Jose Mourinho has already dragged off Eric Bailly, brought on Juan Mata, and he's stuck McTominay into the centre of defence. Here on the right side, Yedlin up to Perez, edge of the area, shoots low towards the goalkeeper's right, and De Gea's got to make another save. I mean, let's be honest about it. They've had less shots in the Premier League so far this season than anybody else coming into this game, Newcastle United. Well, they've had more than Manchester United in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, and the way they've lined up at the moment, it's almost a... Well, it's 4-2-4 basically formation for United. But I would ask the question, why have you put McTominay in the back 4 when you've got Bailly that would hopefully do a better job as a central defender than McTominay?
You would have thought that Eric Bailly, who was Jose's first signing to the club, as a central defender, he played for Villarreal before coming here and has played for the Ivory Coast. He's 24 years of age. He's better suited to playing in his position than a man who at 21 has only played a handful of games for Manchester United's first team, and only one of them at centre half, and none of them as a central defender in a back 4.
Well, you just answered my question there, really. I don't see that. I can understand him bringing him off maybe to go to a 3 potentially or whatever, but to just do a like for like and put a midfield player in as a central defender, unless there was an injury there. And
it's an astonishing start to the game. Absolutely astonishing start to the game. Here on Talksport, the home of more football than anybody else, with over 450 games over the course of the season. But will any create headlines like this one?
The one thing I would say, Sam, I think with United playing as openly as they are with this new formation, it might just give Newcastle more opportunity, more room to create more scoring opportunities. And I think another goal going Newcastle's way, I think you can certainly see the fans turning. They're very quiet at the moment. The only people you can hear are the Newcastle fans.
Kennedy, and a goal from Muto separate these two teams at the moment. Pogba has found Lukaku down the right side. Lovely cross into Rashford with a header, it's wide. It was a brilliant cross from Romelu Lukaku. He moved into the right wing position, checked back onto his left foot, swirled it, curled it beautifully to Rashford, who actually got in between the two central defenders. Rose well, glanced it towards the far post. I thought the net was about to bulge. I think Rashford did too, and it was narrowly wide in the end.
I've got to say it was a really, really poor miss there. Good movement by Rashford to create space off the shoulder of the centre half. Probably one of the best crosses you'll see in the country there from Lukaku. Fantastic. How he's missed it, I don't know, but he has.
Well, Mourinho turned round, looked at the bench towards the stand that we're in, arms out wide as if to say, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do about that? But I don't necessarily think that's a reaction that's going to endear him to anybody at this stage, with them being 2-0 down in a game at home against Newcastle United, having played 22.5 minutes. There's been a goal in the game at Bolton, we'll get there in just a second, but Mata is on the attack for Manchester United, who trail by 2-0. He's gone down the right side, and now he's found Ashley Young, who's dancing left and right before attempting to get a cross past Javi Manquillo. It goes out for a throw down by the corner flag. And Manchester United look to try and fashion some opportunity here. They've gone backwards though to Matic and then all the way to McTominay, who's on halfway. Smalling and then Luke Shaw. Shaw doesn't really have anywhere to go, so he sends it wide towards the left, and now Marcus Rashford. And Rashford then finds Shaw. His cross into the box is a little bit deeper this time, away by Fernandes. Comes back to Pogba. Pogba looking for a shooting opportunity. A deflection, bounces off Lascelles and sends it wide of the goal, away to our right. It's out for a corner, so let's go off to Simon Humphries for details of that goal.
Bolton 0, Blackburn 1. Bradley Dack's fired home from close range. A lovely swift move down the right-hand side and a clinical finish for his 8th goal of the season, his 6th in the lead. Halfway through the first half, Bolton 0, Blackburn 1.
Back at Old Trafford, the corner comes in from the right side by Rashford. It's flicked on by Matic to no one in particular. Pogba retrieves it, goes back in towards the far edge. Smalling waiting for it. McTominay's there, might drop inside the box. There's claims of handball. The referee looked at it, not once but twice. Gary Bezic on this near side also had a glance. And the referee and the linesman on this near side decided against giving a penalty kick. Manchester United trail by 2-0. It's a stunning opening 25 minutes at Old Trafford.
It's better now from United. They've upped the tempo a little bit. They're putting crosses in the box and they're playing at a tempo where you would expect players of United's quality to play at a higher tempo than Newcastle's one.
Shaw looking for Mata, away by Lascelles, and it's cleared up towards halfway. This, I think, was what we were expecting the pattern of the game to be. Manchester United in possession, creating, pushing Newcastle back. Newcastle sitting deep, being compact, resilient, and then trying to prey on the anxiety of this crowd, of this team, but they did that so early without really having to counter-attack because they had so much of the ball, were afforded too much room. They reacted better from the start and they've taken full advantage, and they lead by 2-0. And if Jose Mourinho thought the headlines were bad this morning, imagine what they're going to be like tomorrow. Here's Shelvey down the right side looking for the run of Muto. He misses it, goes out of play and away for a thrown over on the far side.
Matic just being caught on there for the second time. He's got to do things a little bit quicker. Looks a little bit lethargic on the ball. His job is, yes, break up play, but he's got to be the conduit to move the ball through as well, nice and quickly.
I'm all for hardy souls supporting their team, but the two half-naked gentlemen in the Newcastle United end are being, well, there's three of them, are being particularly brave. It's a bit nippy.
They're a different breed up there to you, my friend.
I like it. I'll be getting those thermals out soon, don't you worry about that. not risking a loss of circulation. Here is Pogba down the right side. Mata trying to take over. There's a scrap right tight to the touchline. Yedlin trying to find Diame. Diame is stronger, wants it. Clattered eventually by Young, but he's not worried about that. Here comes Rafa again, skipping out towards the edge of his technical area. They haven't won a game so far this season, Newcastle United. They're winning this one by 2-0. Let me give you the latest odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner on Talksport. The latest odds right now, Manchester United are 3-1 to come back and win the game. Newcastle 11-8 on. The draw 16-5. And in the correct score market, if you think a comeback is on the way and it would end 2-2, you can get 9-2 on that for a 3-2 United win, 13-2. Full terms at betfair.com. Here's Iosi Perez down the left side, wriggling past McTominay, getting a cross in. Matt Ritchie was arriving at the far post and he almost found him. It was just a little bit heavy with the cross from Iosi Perez, and it went scooting out over on the far side and away for a throw-in to Manchester United, who at the moment, I mean, apart from the late flurry that they've had in the last 2 or 3 minutes, they've really looked stunned by the occasion. I mean, there was a lot of talk last night, a lot of gossip, lots of social media stuff. Do players know about that? Does that affect them?
I think they'll know full well about it, to be honest with you. I'm sure a lot of these players, whether they say so or not, will trawl through social media and whatever, and it affects the weaker ones rather than the stronger ones. The stronger ones will stay away from it. They know your job. Football's a hard enough job as it is without listening to a multitude of opinions throughout the world of football.
They'll know a storm is brewing though, won't they? They'll get a feeling from the staff, from other players, from the manager himself, won't they? I mean, they didn't turn up on their coach today from the Lowry. They usually go to the Lowry and then all come in together. They didn't do that. There's no explanation for it, apart from the fact that I think I mentioned to you downstairs, they were delayed in traffic by taking that route earlier in the week, so maybe they decided to come in dribs and drabs today to make it easier.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if the manager, you know, it's like if things are not going well at the club, you make a change. It took them, what, 70 minutes or an hour and a half, something ridiculous, to get in from the Lowry, about 3-4 miles to get to Old Trafford the other night. You can't let that happen as a manager. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's changed it. He might have even said to the players, right, you know, stay at home last night. You know, get to the game under your own steam.
Well, you can't allow yourself to get snarled up in traffic, but you can't allow yourself to get caught like this either. 2-0 at home to Newcastle United. And McTominay again tying himself in knots on halfway, trying to be clever when a simple ball would have probably been advisable. Matic has brought it through the centre circle. It's out to the left and Shaw into Martial, back to Shaw, edge of the area now. They've worked their way up the pitch well here, Manchester United. Rashford, it's broken down with him again. Perez scooting away from Pogba, who swipes a right foot at the ball. Doesn't connect with Perez or the ball. It goes out of play and away for a throw into Manchester United on halfway. Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. You're listening to Talksport live at Old Trafford. Let me tell you the latest statistics. Manchester United 69% possession to 31. 3 shots though to Newcastle's 5. 4 of those on target from Newcastle United.
Yeah, and it'd be fair to say you think they've probably been the better side, the most clinical side in this game, definitely. And United have had that opportunity through Rashford. Apart from that, not much else.
8 weeks without a home win for Manchester United and Jose Mourinho. And he won't need reminding that Rafa Benitez has won 5 of his last 7 in the Premier League against Manchester United. Here's Muto down the left side for Newcastle, who lead by 2-0. Trying to squeeze it to the edge of the box. Where waiting for it was Iosi Perez. Manchester United intervened through Matic and then managed to bring it clear. And on halfway, Lukaku bullies his way past first Fernandes and then squeezes it out towards the far side after eluding Manquillo. Moving towards the edge of the box now is Martial. The final ball's dreadful and it's cleared away by Yedlin and out towards the far side.
That action we've just seen there from Lukaku is the action you want to see as a manager from one of your players. Fast, aggressive, incisive, making something happen. You know, it's really important they do.
Mata down the left now, exchanging the pass with Martial, but being tracked and watched and stalked almost by Mohamed Diame, who goes across and pokes it out of play and out for a corner over on the far side. 31 minutes gone. You're listening to Talksport. And the corner comes in straight in towards the near post, and it's easily caught by the goalkeeper Dubravka.
I think Newcastle have worked out, if they work the channel where McTominay is defending, they're going to get some joy. Both Mutu and Perez have gone into that area and caused McTominay one or two problems.
Here is Iosi Perez to Shelvey, and then he tries to just nudge it out to the left side where Iosi Perez is waiting for it. Comes back to Smalling, who takes a quick free kick, and then Manchester United try to build through midfield. Up to the left and Martial. Shaw continuing his run, gets inside the area, gives it to Lukaku. It was a bit of a nothing ball into Lukaku. It wasn't a crisp enough pass, and now Shaw out of position means that there's space over on the Newcastle right for the visitors to try and exploit. Rashford being asked to get back by Jose Mourinho, but not getting back quick enough. Newcastle aren't really moving forward at any real pace, and when Pogba robs the Arme of the ball, it looked like the counter-attack was on there, but referee Anthony Taylor has done Jose Mourinho and Manchester United a massive favour and given a free kick. Done Rafa Benitez a massive favour and given Newcastle United a free kick. It might have been a little bit over-aggressive from Paul Pogba. Yeah,
I'm not seeing that personally. I think Pogba's read where he was going and just got his body in the way first. And luckily for Newcastle, we'd have been involved in a 4v4 attack otherwise.
So free kick to Newcastle, just left of the centre circle. Shelvey dripping the ball over the top of the United defence. It comes in towards the near post, and Mutu makes a brilliant effort on goal and a wonderful instinctive save by David De Gea. Now this was unbelievable. It was pinball wizard inside the 18-yard box. As it came towards Mutu, he can only have been 6 yards out. He thrashed his head towards goal. It was a certain goal, surely. David De Gea, with reflex saves, has absolutely dug Jose Mourinho out of a hole here.
Yeah, he certainly did. First Lascelles, clear header, and then McTominay playing Mutu onside, not tracked him. It was a point-blank save, and I think he might have just saved his team the game just then with that save.
Well, that is an outstanding save from David De Gea, who came to Manchester United's rescue so often last season, and that instinctive prod of the left hand at an unbelievable speed. I mean, it unfolded so quickly there, with Lascelles getting one free header before Muto got another. He can hardly have seen that coming towards him. He just lifted his arm out and made a save which stops it from being 3-0 to Newcastle. And really then I think there will be no way back for Manchester United, who trail here by 2-0 with 10 minutes to go before half-time. Goal kick given when Martial was asking for a corner away to our right. I mean, defensively, Manchester United have not been great. 1 clean sheet in 7 Premier League games, but I mean, you'd expect them not to allow a team like Newcastle, who have got a height disadvantage of an average of 6 centimetres less than Manchester United, to get 2 free headers inside the box.
Yeah, and I'm almost feeling sorry for him here. McTominay, a 21-year-old, being asked to play in an unfamiliar position, and he's struggling with it, you know, and the team are not playing well. When you put a youngster in at the heart of your defence that's not used to playing there, you hope that you've got some senior citizens around him, and the team are playing particularly well. At the moment, he looks out of his depth a little bit. Newcastle have realised that and causing him untold problems.
There might be some senior citizens around them, but I think some of the Manchester United fans will be hoping that 1 or 2 of them will be pensioned off if it continues like this. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. Free kick into the box, looking for Lascelles, who gets another free header in. He rose highest above everybody else, didn't direct it goalwards, and it goes out for a goal kick.
It's almost ridiculous at the moment that every time the ball comes in the box, there's 2 Newcastle players basically bearing down on the ball, and it's only the flight of the ball that's caught Lascelles out. that saved them another effort at goal.
Well, Manchester United have conceded twice here in the opening 10 minutes of this game at Old Trafford. It's the first time ever in Premier League history that Manchester United have conceded 2 goals in the opening 10 minutes of a Premier League game at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and well, at the moment they're not building up an ascendancy of pressure on Newcastle's goal, and if anything, it's Newcastle over the last 4 or 5 minutes that have had these couple of efforts at goal.
Pogba in the centre of the United midfield, wearing those gloves and a short sleeve shirt, sends it into Lukaku, plays it blind towards his left, but it's straight to Ritchie, who robs it for Manchester United and brings it up through midfield, where he finds Ayoze Perez out wide to Javi Manquillo. Manquillo sends it back into Muto. Muto, the Japanese, who has scored his first goal today for Newcastle United. Perez trying to skip away from Ashley Young. There was a little tap at the ankles there, and again Manchester United look rash, they look indecisive, they look on the back foot. They're not coping with this Newcastle United approach. Perez doing incredibly well, working hard. Mutu is a real nuisance. Perez going down the left, getting away from Ashley Young, and then Ashley Young just with a little bit too much physicality on him, knocked him to the floor, and now Newcastle can create another chance from a set piece. And Manchester United might be panicking again.
Well, I think they are. It was McTominay there caught in possession that started this whole scenario that ended up in this free kick.
Shelvey towards the back edge of the area, and it's aimed towards Matt Ritchie, who almost got something on that which causes Manchester United more grief, but fortuitously there was enough pressure from behind to put him off his stride. Now he's claiming that that pressure was illegal on the edge of the box, and he might well have a case, you know.
Yeah, they certainly worked something that, well, every time that ball's in the box, Sam, at the moment, it looks dangerous for United.
Well, credit to them, Newcastle United. I think their approach has been superb. They didn't have to be great to get themselves 2-0 in front, but since they've been in front, they've managed the game well, and they've crafted more chances from set pieces.
Yeah, they have. As I say, United have done nothing in this game from the first minute to put Newcastle on the back foot and put a bit of fear into them. And if anything, everything United has done has helped Newcastle build up confidence to approach the game. And this, if it stays the same and Newcastle come away with the points here, this is a big win for Newcastle in terms of staying in the division.
Massive. Especially seeing as they haven't won so far this season. Remember that they came into the game not having won this campaign. McTominay's just wrestled Muto to the floor down in the left wing position. It was far too telegraphed from the young Scotsman, who's having a real tough time, and he's given away a free kick in a dangerous position here. I mean, that was experience from the former Mainz forward Yoshinori Muto.
It was exactly that, you know. It was a more senior player just playing on the naivety of a youngster, really.
Manchester United are 2-0 down at home in the first half at Old Trafford. Shelvey to take the free kick into the wall. It takes a deflection off Ashley Young and bounces behind and away, but it's got to be a corner. I mean, how on earth is that not a corner? It's hit the wall and gone behind.
To be honest with you, the referee there, I saw his body language before he made a decision. I thought he's going to give a goal kick here. And the officials around him that have seen that must say to him, no, you've got that one wrong, change your mind.
It's not even wrong.
It was almost, I think
wrong.
It was handball.
It was a penalty more than anything else. The free kick's gone in towards the near post. Ashley Young has elevated his right elbow up to try and block the ball. That has happened.
Yeah.
It's gone behind and away for at least a corner, at very least a corner. Certainly it could have been a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart Atwell, the official down there on the touchline, is getting berated by referees. You can see by his body language, he's just saying to him, look, you're all mic'd up, why don't you just tell him? You've seen what I've seen.
It could be worse for Manchester United. And that's saying something.
Well, we've still got half hour to go.
Given away by Matic, picked up by Diame, who's driving towards the edge of the box. His shot is an early one. He probably did it too early because he poked it with the outside of his right boot rather than striding towards the edge of the box and maybe pushing it into the path of Muto. He ended up coming up with a rather tame effort, and it was an easy pick-up for David De Gea. Well, if you think De Gea is saved from Muto instinctively when he had no right to stop that from going in, and they could have had a penalty, we could be looking at a 4-0 scoreline here, and no one would have batted an eyelid. That wouldn't have been argued against.
No, if someone's going to say there's going to be another 2 goals in this game.
Here's Pogba at the other end, trying to get a shot away from Lukaku's little layoff with his back to goal. He set it for the Frenchman, who ran onto it, but got no power in the shot. It's an easy save for Dubravka.
Yeah, if anyone would say to me there's going to be 2 more goals in this game, I would say it'd be a Newcastle 4-0 victory on what I'm seeing. Matic is a mile off the pace of the game. McTominay's out of his depth at the moment, and I'm looking through the ranks of the United team, and there's no one there playing with more than a 6 out of 10 at this moment in time.
Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. You're listening to Talksport. And remember, we'll have all the fallout and reaction to this on the 4-time phone-in from 7:30 tonight. You'll be able to call Laura Woods and Stuart Pearce, 08717 2233 44. Yes, that does mean that I've got to go and speak to him. I'll be with Jose in the tunnel afterwards. Wish me good luck. Here's Shaw down the left-hand side into Pogba. Pogba back down the left towards Martial. Martial's cross is a deep one towards Lukaku, and it's away by Manquillo, not controlled by Pogba, and then it's retrieved by Luke Shaw over on the far side. On by Pogba to Martial. Too slow again from Manchester United. Imprecise. No real eagerness or determination to try and punish Newcastle United when a ball runs loose. It's just a lack of urgency about the whole unit.
Yeah, it certainly is. And just looking at Newcastle and Newcastle's plight so far this season, coming into the game, you go to Manchester United before the second international break, you've got 2 points, and you've had a horrible run of fixtures at the start of the season. They'll be absolutely delighted if they can get 3 points here. Go on.
Oh, it's given away by Smalling, edge of the area to Jose Perez, who's wandering through inside the box, and then he's air kicked it. Well, he's fallen over as he's attempted to shoot from a 45-degree angle from the right edge of the box. I mean, that again was calamitous from Manchester United. Chris Smalling saying, oh, he couldn't hear and he didn't get the call. But seriously, you don't just give it to a teammate 5 yards outside your box. You've got to clear your lines. Manchester United are all over the place. Here's Martial at the other end, looking for Rashford. It's behind Lukaku. It's only half cleared. It's picked up by Matic. Matic tries to send it out wide. Young, can they get a goal before half-time? They've got 50 seconds before the whistle. Young again, cutting inside, left-footed, looking for Lukaku. Away by Lascelles. Good header by him. Picked up on the far side by Luke Shaw. He's driven cross towards the far post. Away by Manquillo. Rashford rises. Matic brings it down. Tries to bundle through. Away by Fernandes, who urges his troops to get up and out of the penalty area and defend the 18-yard line. They move it to halfway. Smalling brings it back for Manchester United, who trail by 2-0. Here's Shaw, out to the left. It's picked up by Martial. Martial wanders, a slow pace towards the edge of the area, cuts infield, low cross into the box. It's a poor one. It's cleared away by Lascelles. Too easy for Newcastle. Diame almost took the ball off a dithering Pogba inside the centre circle. What is going on here?
I just think that old word confidence, you know, these players are playing with fear in their heart. You can see that straight away, and they're doing things too slowly, too pedestrian, and they need a spark from somewhere.
Well, Pogba's shot from 25 yards out is deflected behind by Fernandes. It spirals out into the scoreboard end, and it goes out for a corner. And as Young walks over to take it, he's booed by the slither of Newcastle fans in their black and white jerseys as the cross then comes in from the corner towards the near post, but it's Jose Perez whose head gets on the end of it, and it comes back out to the near side. Young dazzles, tries to turn and get the cross in. It's blocked by Perez. It's out for another corner to Manchester United. They've had 5 of them in the game.
Yeah, I'm almost looking at Rashford as well. Rashford, you know, he puts an England shirt on, he's electric. He comes back to his club, which should be the opposite way round, and he looks nervous to do anything.
Young delivers a cross into the box. Does it hit the hand of Muto? The referee says no, and then Luke Shaw brings him down 10 yards short of the halfway line. It's a yellow card and a free kick, as Newcastle were threatened to counter-attack on Manchester United again.
I've got to say, what Luke Shaw has just done there was pathetic defending. Newcastle have broken, fair enough, and we're seeing a replay. It was potentially handball in the box. Newcastle have broken. He had no intention at all of attempting to win the ball.
He's got a yellow card for his troubles. Pogba giving the ball away to Perez on the edge of his own penalty area. We've played a minute and 45 seconds of added time. Here is Kennedy down the left side, tussling with Young. Free kick goes Manchester United's way. But I mean, the team talk that is required from Jose Mourinho now is absolutely huge. It'll be one of the biggest he's ever given in his life. He's given some. He's seen his teams come back from different scenarios before. He's won against the odds before. He's fought back from difficult situations before, but situations do not get much more difficult than this. Boos from the Old Trafford crowd. He woke up this morning, Jose Mourinho, to headlines that said, not you'll be sacked in the morning, you'll be sacked no matter what happens here, whether or not you win or you lose. But losing they are. No leadership, no personality, no assertiveness, no creativity. No goals, and Newcastle have two. This is a major problem for Manchester United. At the break, it's United 0, Newcastle 2.
Well, as the players head back into the tunnel, Jose Mourinho on our screens is a light trot, is what you could probably call it, as he goes back in to perhaps give his team a half-time talk they've never had before. Could be his last one, we'll find out. Loads more coming across your network this week. Tomorrow, Talksport will bring you live and exclusive coverage of Callum Johnson's bid to achieve the biggest success story of 2018 in this weekend's light heavyweight title fight from Chicago. Then from 2:15 on Sunday, you can hear live and exclusive coverage of Southampton versus Chelsea in the Premier League. And from 5 p.m. over on Talksport 2, it's NFL Match Day Live with live commentary of the Jacksonville Jaguars at Kansas City Chiefs. On Wednesday sees the start of Talksport 2's exclusive coverage of England's tour of Sri Lanka. Coverage of the first one-day international starts at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, with play underway at 10 a.m. Don't forget, you can check out the Daily Cricket podcast following on. That's John Norman's podcast, and the team out in Sri Lanka giving you the daily cricketing hit during the course of the tour. And also do check out @cricket_TS on Twitter too for various videos and further coverage of England's tour out in Sri Lanka, which of course you can hear live and exclusive over on Talksport 2. Back to Old Trafford there, where you heard the boos as the teams went back into the tunnel. The score is Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. Manchester United are unravelling in front of our eyes. There's a chance of "You're not special anymore" from the travelling fans who are to our right, and Mike Ashley, who was to our left, with a grin bigger than the Cheshire Cats. A poor, toothless performance from Manchester United. They conceded 2 goals within 10 minutes. We are at Old Trafford, Stuart Pearce. It's never been done before in the Premier League era. They've conceded 2 goals within 10 minutes. If the temperature was rising before for Jose Mourinho, surely we're at melting point now.
Well, I'm almost astounded. My next door neighbour's a season ticket holder at United, and he goes up and down, and I see him of a Sunday morning, how's the game gone, and he looks at me with his forlorn face. It's not good, it's not pleasant. I saw him at Watford a couple of weeks ago, and I thought United played well. They won the game. You thought, it can't be as bad as he's making out. All of a sudden, you turn up here today, and this has been, I've got to say, an absolutely awful performance from a very, very nervous Manchester United side.
Never seen anything like it. They look shell-shocked. The minute that first goal went in, like you said, they were nervous before that.
Yeah.
I'm looking around at the faces of the fans here at Old Trafford. It's disbelief.
It is, and rightly so, really. They've been so used to, over the decades of success, and a Manchester United team coming out and from the first whistle putting the opposition on the back foot. They've done anything but that. They've conceded some awful goals. They've made some poor errors in judgment, I think, and if anything, it looks as though the next team to score might well be Newcastle again.
You're Jose Mourinho for the moment. What are you going to go and tell them now at half-time?
Well, it depends whether you're happy with your team shape. I think the fact he's put McTominay in the back four now has not worked, I've got to say. I think he's been He's looked very, very weak. He's not being helped. He's a young man. He's 21 years old, and he's playing at the heart of the defence, of a very nervous defence. Ashley Young's getting nowhere near anyone, and he's contributed to certainly both goals they've conceded. But they've got, the important thing for them is to go and win the public over in this stadium for a start and get the next goal, Laura. That is the most important thing for United.
Those 2 goals came within 10 minutes. At 19 minutes, he took Bailly off and put Mata on. What do you make of that?
Well, I can understand making a change, and I was all for that, but he slid a midfield player, albeit a very young midfield player, that started the game very nervously, into the back line and took a centre-half off one of your big money signings. And I honestly don't understand that. Unless there was an injury, then, well, that's something we weren't privy to or didn't stick out glaringly. But he's put a midfielder in the back line that made the back line, that's nervous anyway over recent weeks, even worse.
Admittedly, we expected this game to perhaps be quite dull, quite dreary, a lack of attacking football perhaps on both sides. And we also expected Newcastle United to just sit back, and we said it beforehand, perhaps play on the counter. They've not really done that. Just tell us a little bit about how impressed you've been with Newcastle's performance.
Listen, make no mistake, all week Rafa would have had a game plan of going out there, defending deep and counter-attack. Manchester United have blown their game plan out the water by not getting on the front foot and making them defend. They basically said, look, if you come anywhere near our box, we're likely to let you have a goal, Newcastle, and it's suited Newcastle. They've been comfortable on the ball, they've been given plenty of time and room to play their football, and they deserve to be winning at least 2-0.
Does Jose Mourinho survive this if the score stays 2-0 to Newcastle United?
I've no idea. Listen, the bottom line is that is a decision for the owners of this football club to make. The one thing, for me, I like to strip it down and let's report on what we see in regard to the football. The football is so far away from Manchester United standards, it's incredible, and that's all I can sort of report on.
All right, more reaction shortly from Old Trafford. Let's get the half-time report from Bolton versus Blackburn. That's Simon Humphrey. He's at the University of Bolton Stadium now for Talksport.
And half-time here, it's Bolton 0, Blackburn 1. Rovers on course for their first win here in 9 years. They lead at the break thanks to Bradley Dack's 8th goal of the season, his 6th in the league. Rothwell found Reid away in the penalty area after a good run down the right-hand side. His shot was blocked by Wheater, but Dack was on hand to finish from close range. Wanderers came close to equalising on 28 minutes. Buckley cut in from the left-hand side and his shot was pushed away by Raya down at his post. And from the resulting Ostuma corner, McGuinness saw his header brilliantly tipped over by the keeper. Then on the stroke of half-time, Rovers failing to clear their lines at the back. McGuinness looped a header over the keeper, but there was Charlie Mulgrew to clear the ball off the line. A win for Rovers will see them climb into the top 10 ahead of the international break. Half-time here, it's Bolton 0, Blackburn 1.
And as it stands, they're up to 9th in the Championship. We'll give you more updates as they come in there. Right, let's hand you over now to our Matchday Live's official betting partner, Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talksport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Barry Orr from Betfair. We're all shell-shocked here at Old Trafford. How are the bookies making of this one?
It wasn't in the script, Laura, was it? 8-1 Manchester United now to go on and claim all 3 points. 1-3 Newcastle. It's 15-4 the draw there. It's amazing. And a correct score betting to remain 2-0 is 9-2. A 2-all draw currently trading at 9-2. A 3-2 win for Manchester United, unlikely as that result may seem, is a 12-1 chance. Jose Mourinho to be sacked before midnight tonight on the 6th of October is just 6-4.
Barry Orr, thank you very much. That was your latest odds with Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talksport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Manchester United, where do they go from here? Old Trafford, once a theatre of dreams, once a fortress. Newcastle, a team with 2 points in the Premier League table, have a 2-0 lead over them at Old Trafford. Here's the latest from what you saw from the first half on Talksport.
Here's Kennedy at the other end, signed by Mourinho, gets it onto his left foot and shoots towards the far corner. And oh my word, Manchester United have conceded after 7 minutes and Kennedy has scored his first goal of the season for Newcastle. Signed by Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, he comes back to haunt him at Old Trafford. and Jose Mourinho's tenure at Manchester United is going from bad to worse. And they might concede again here because Mutu's turning and smashing the ball beyond David De Gea. It's collapsing for Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford, and Manchester United absolutely stunned. Pogba's found Lukaku down the right side. Lovely cross into Rashford with a header, it's wide. I thought the net was about to bulge. I think Rashford did too. And it was narrowly wide in the end, over the top of the United defence. It comes in towards the near post, and Mutu makes a brilliant effort on goal and a wonderful instinctive save. David De Gea has absolutely dug Jose Mourinho out of a hole here.
Matchday Live on Talksport, delivered by Just Eat, because a feast of football requires a feast of a takeaway. Scrumdiddlyumptious!
The Premier League, where players become legends. Has Aguero put his name amongst the league's all-time greats? Will Salah prove he's not a one-season wonder? Or will Hazard's untouchable form take Chelsea to the top? Your gut says someone's going to light up the league this weekend, and your smarts say whatever happens, Betfair has had the best odds on the Premier League. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 1st of January 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Hey, Philip Schofield here. WeBuyAnyCar.com reckon you could find out what your car's worth in under 60 seconds. I know, I didn't believe it myself, so I timed it. And it's true, it actually took me only 53 seconds. Not that it's a race. So if you want to find out how much your car's worth, or just want to beat my time, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. I think I might give it another go. 49. Get in.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Did you invest in a Spanish timeshare or holiday club that you no longer want? Are you still paying unreasonably high maintenance and management fees? Are you worried that your family will be saddled with the debt in the future? It's time to get out of your timeshare. Reclaim in Spain's easy-to-follow timeshare exit strategy enables you to legally exit your Spanish timeshare and receive up to 90% of the purchase price you paid. Reclaim in Spain do all the hard work for you, and if there's no timeshare exit, there's no fee. If it's time to get out of your timeshare, go to reclaiminspain.com today.
Are you ready to order?
I'd love a prawn cocktail.
And I'd like cheaper car insurance. This is a restaurant, sir, but perhaps this gentleman here can help.
Go compare.
Good plan. Plus, you'd have got a discount off your bill here tonight had you bought your car or home insurance through.
Go compare.
And got your free Dine membership, knocking money off the bill in thousands of restaurants for a whole year.
Gosh, where do I go again? Eat out more and fork out less with Go Compare.
Terms and conditions and limits apply, of course, sir.
It's only just launched, but the new Vauxhall Combo van has already delivered. For the heavy lifters, with its payload of up to a ton. For the fuel savers, with its highly efficient engines. And now, we're delighted to announce it's also delivered the coveted title of International Van of the Year 2019. New Combo. Carries British business. Vauxhall, British brand since 1903. Search Vauxhall Combo.
If you believe in magic, tonight you can just eat. Magic is real, it's contained within an app. Put your feet up and watch Peking Duck appear with just a tap.
Magic is pizza, tacos,
Savoy fish and chips, shish kebab, vindaloo,
and spicy crispy chicken strips.
Summon up your favorite takeaway tonight. Download the Just Eat app or order online now.
From the centre of the football universe.
And that's it!
Matchday Live with Laura Woods.
A wonderful finish!
On Talksport.
Welcome back to Matchday Live with me, Laura Woods, Sam Matavesa and Stuart Pearce. We're at Old Trafford, where the scoreline, if you've missed it, is Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. It is quite spectacular what we're seeing here. Manchester United absolutely melting. They came out, they didn't look like a team that wanted to play for the manager in particular. They didn't look like a team that wanted to play for their shirt either. Stuart Pearce is alongside me. Let's just recap what we're seeing at the moment, Stuart, because if these players aren't out here playing for Jose Mourinho, shouldn't they be playing for the fans that have come to watch them today?
Yeah, the thing is, Manchester United and Old Trafford is a fantastic place to play if you're on the ascendancy. If you're not, and you've got a bit of fear in your heart and it's a little bit too big for you, it manifests itself in what we're seeing out there. Players not taking responsibility, being a little bit nervous about what they're doing with the ball. And we're looking now, he's made the change for excuse me, we've made the change for McTominay by the looks of it, who I thought had a dreadful first half. Fellaini's come on for him, and it looks as though they're going to drop Matic into the back line now.
Who are the leaders on the pitch? Because
nobody at the moment.
There are players on that pitch that wanted to be captain. Paul Pogba, one of them. Is he leading today?
I'm not seeing any individual in that team.
There's nothing, is there?
Doing anything that shows me there's a touch of leadership within the team. So this word leadership is a throwaway one. Leadership is your actions on a daily basis on the training pitch. Leadership is about what you do when you represent your club away from the training pitch. Leadership is about wanting the ball when you're 2-0 down against Newcastle. That's leadership. It's not about just wearing an armband.
Manchester United are out on the pitch at the moment. They've been standing there for a good 30 seconds before Newcastle are now trotting out full of confidence. How are they going to turn this around, Stuart?
If anything, on what I've seen, it looks like Newcastle carrying on the same vein. If Manchester United don't defend better, they'll concede another goal. So it's not whether Manchester United can score the next goal, it's can they stop Newcastle scoring another one if they carry on doing what they're doing.
We are doing the full-time phone-in after this game. 08717 22 3344 is the number to call if you want to get involved in any of this conversation. United toothless, Newcastle buzzing, Ed Woodward and Mike Ashley looking on in the stands, looming over their respective managers, world-class managers nonetheless. Let's hand you over to your commentary team. Stuart Pearce, but first Sam Matterface.
It could have been 4. When Ashley Young sticks his elbow out, that's a penalty. If David De Gea doesn't produce a world-class save, that's another goal. It could have been 4. We're underway in the second half. Manchester United trailing by 2-0 at home at half-time against a team that had registered fewer shots on target than anybody else in the Premier League so far this season, against a team that hadn't won before the start of proceedings here, against a team that hadn't even held a lead in the Premier League before the start of proceedings here. They have now got another centre-back partnership in the shape of Chris Smalling and Nemanja Matic, who are playing as the 2 centre-halves after Scott McTominay, who did play there with Smalling, was taken off at half-time and replaced by Marouane Fellaini, who's gone into midfield. Jose Mourinho looks vexed. Manchester United with red shirts and black shorts shooting towards the Stretford end. Oh, so famous across the years. Made famous by goals from Best, from Law, from Charlton, from Hughes, from McClare, from Cole and York, Sheringham, Solskjaer, Beckham, but now it is in that goal away to our left that Manchester United have to score twice. Otherwise, there's serious problems for Jose Mourinho. I can't see how he brings it back from here unless they get something from this match. They come forward with Lukaku, flicks it on towards Martial. He hesitates. It's a good defending by Yedlin, who nips in and gets it back to his goalkeeper. Now, could Martial have been more purposeful there and got there ahead of the USA international?
I'm with you on that. That's exactly what I was thinking. There should be more determination to push the defender out the way, and when the ball drops between him and the goalkeeper, I think you've got to stretch for that and try to draw it away from the goalkeeper and draw a penalty if possible.
2 minutes played. The 2-11s look like this then. Manchester United, they start with De Gea in goal. They've made a couple of changes, remember, already. So it's Young, Smalling, Matic and Shaw now, the back 4. In midfield it's Pogba and Mata and Fellaini, Rashford, Lukaku and Martial going forward in the teal jerseys and shorts and socks. Shooting away to our right, Newcastle United have Dubravka in goal, Yedlin, Lascelles, Fernandes, Manquillo, and then Richie Diame, Shelby and Kennedy in midfield, and Perez and Mutu up front. And I've got to be honest, I don't think I was expecting such a good, diligent, hard-working performance from Perez and Mutu as we have seen here today. I think they've been excellent.
They put United on the back foot from the first moment, really, and they've sniffed a nervousness in the back line of Manchester United, and they've exploited it, Sam.
3 minutes gone, second half. Manchester United attacking the goal to our left and trying to fashion a chance here. Red shirts, black shorts. Pogba out to Juan Mata. Mata Back in field to Chris Smalling. Smalling strokes the ball forward, finds Nemanja Matic. Matic now shapes it out to the left and finds Shaw. Shaw tinkers forward in towards the centre of the Newcastle half, gives it to Fellaini, who's immediately shut down. He manages to recover possession, send a cross into the box, which bounces off Diame. Diame scurries back and in the right full-back position will hoist it clear for Newcastle United. Newcastle don't have a particularly good record here. Their only win here since February 1972 was when Johan Cabaye scored. A 1-0 victory. David Moyes is in charge in December 2013. And Jose Mourinho, if reports are to be believed, will be suffering a similar fate in the fact that he will be on the end of the receipt of a P45 before his contract is up.
Sam, there's a lot of talk about Mourinho, you know, getting the sack and whatever. And if you're a manager down there at this moment in time and you're looking at your team going through the motions like they are, he might be thinking to himself, you know what? I'm going to go and work somewhere else.
Here's Rashford inside the area, trying to dance his way through. Doesn't get the shot away. It's cleared away by the Newcastle defence and it runs up to halfway, and Pogba will see it all the way back to his goalkeeper. This is an interesting point that I want to develop with you. Do you think that there is a chance that he might turn down that 15 million quid payoff and turn around and say, do you know what, this is not for me?
No, but I don't think he will. I think it's a waiting game between him and the club. If the club want to make a change, but he might, you never know. You turn around, he'll be sat there thinking, I want to work with a more genuine group.
Ball down the right for Ashley Young. His cross tapped behind by Manquillo. It's out for the first corner of the second half and it goes Manchester United's way. This is a big story that's developing live on Talksport. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. The morning headlines full of reports that Mourinho was about to be sacked. He's under even more scrutiny now as the ball's delivered from the right side to Fellaini. Dollies it up for Pogba. His shot is low towards the goalkeeper's left. Save. Comes back to Matic. He's missed from 7 yards. Nemanja Matic misses a near open goal to drag Manchester United back into the game. The shot from Pogba from the 25-yard mark was stopped by Dubravka. He pushed it straight into the path of the Serbian, who's inexplicably steered it over the top.
Yeah, great strike there for Pogba, a wonderful save. And Matic, my goodness me. Sam, you didn't do it justice. I mean, we've seen the first save by Dubravka was fantastic. Big deflection on it, great save, but he could only put it 6-7 yards out. It's impossible to miss. It's impossible to miss the target from there.
Sometimes you need a bit of luck, don't you?
And sometimes you need to create your own luck.
And Manchester United are doing neither.
They've had two perfect opportunities to be back in the game. Rashford, which was so clear-cut, and that one, well, quite incredible.
And what a day. Manchester United's manager at the moment, Jose Mourinho, zips up a top underneath the raincoat, right up to his chin. He's feeling the heat and the chill. Here's Richie at the other end, shooting from the edge of the area after a free kick was nudged back to him by Ozzy Perez. Grasped by De Gea from the sky, brought through midfield. Matas found Fellaini, but Fellaini's gone backwards to Ashley Young on halfway. He goes down the right looking for Fellaini again. Manquillo comes across and then Fernandez gets the challenge in. Picked up by Diame. Diame to halfway, challenged by Young. Goes into Fellaini. They want a free kick. Rafa Benitez, his arms are in the air, appealing for that. Rashford turns it over. Pogba takes the ball, steps over it with his studs and then gives it to Shaw. Sends it through the box, so it could have gone anywhere. No one reacted to it, and then Newcastle managed to clear. Again, not enough urgency, not enough desire from Manchester United to make the most of a ball which went through the 18-yard box and travelled a hell of a long way.
Yeah, at this moment in time, Newcastle have joined Manchester United in their ineptitude and doing everything they can to encourage United to come onto them now.
The Manchester United support, trying desperately to get behind their team, sends a message to the team that they need more from them. It comes back off Mata. Mata then tries to shoot, and it's a good yard or so wide from Juan Mata and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Martial had raced down the left. He pushed it through the box. It came back to Mata. Mata's shot was well wide, and it's out for a goal kick.
Matt is convinced there was a deflection and a corner in that one. I'm not so sure myself. looked at the replay, didn't see it.
Ritchie's gone down, needs some attention. We played 8 minutes of the second half. You're listening to Talksport. Earlier on today, Burnley and Huddersfield drew 1-1. Wolves won at Crystal Palace by a goal to nil. Matt Doherty with the goal there. They're 7th now. Leicester City 1, Everton 2. Richarlison scoring for Everton, and Sigurdsson scored an absolute worldie, apparently. A brilliant goal. Joel Rawls was sent off for Cardiff as they went 1-0 down at Spurs today. Eric Dyer with the only goal of the game. And Bournemouth 4-0 winners away at Watford. 2 for Josh King. They're up to 5th now, Eddie Howe's team. Did I read a report on the Sun website yesterday that Eddie Howe might be the perfect replacement to build for the future for Manchester United?
You probably did. I won't debate that. He's certainly doing himself no harm over the years as a coach. Eddie's been fantastic, really, and another good start this season to the campaign.
It was talk of building for the future and building for the way that they used to Manchester United. And would he be the right person to do that? He's certainly done that in Bournemouth, that's for sure. Here's Shelvey for Newcastle, who lead by 2-0. Out to the right, and Ritchie delivers a cross into the box. Of course, that is the other question as it pops off Matic and goes into the arms of De Gea. Who on earth are you going to get to replace Jose Mourinho if you do indeed decide to dispense with his services?
Well, before you actually push a button and decide you want to move a manager out, most of these chairmen and owners have got a new manager in place, or certainly someone earmarked.
Lukaku turning round the corner and finding Martial. I mean, I don't even know what he was trying to do with that. As he flipped it into the air, it's easily cleared by Newcastle. Young's gone to chase it, and Manchester United have won a throw. That cheered for a throw-in. Out on the far side, thrown into Pogba. His cross is a good one. Rashford's missed another chance. It's a big one. He leapt up in between Lascelles and Fernandes. He rose higher than them both, and as the cross came in from Pogba on the right side, he only really needed to steer it on target to ensure a goal, and he missed that target.
Yeah, the United fans now got to give them credit. They've come out fighting, the fans, at least at half-time. The team's performance is a little bit better in the second half, and the fans responded accordingly.
That's a good chance. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2 on Talksport with Just Eat, the app for all your takeaway needs. There it is again. You're getting sacked in the morning from the Newcastle United support. That's the chant. It's going to be a familiar refrain, I'm afraid, in these parts if the scoreline stays the same. And United have got 34 minutes to turn it round against the other United. Certainly one looking more United than the other. Free kick given against Matic for a foul on Iosi Perez, as they both challenged for the goal kick, which was cleared upfield by Martin Dubravka, the 29-year-old Czech goalkeeper whose introduction to Premier League football was when he was magnificent against Manchester United in February. That resulted in a 1-0 win at St James's Park. This afternoon might be even better. Newcastle 0, Newcastle 2, Manchester United 0 is the latest scoreline from Old Trafford as the skies darken above our head here in Manchester. Shelvey to take the free kick, swirling it towards the edge of the box. It comes off Lascelles and almost squirted through to Fernandes over on the far side. That was a push unnecessarily by Lukaku. And he's given away a free kick midway between the edge of the 18-yard box and the goal line.
You really can't... I mean, his body language suggesting he's been hard done by, but from first viewing of it, he's pushed him over. When you see the replay, he's pushed him over. What are you thinking about?
Why is he making such an elementary mistake there? Oh, it's taken short to Shelvey, edge of the area, and he's shot towards goal. He's missed the target, but luckily for Anthony Taylor, or luckily for Matt Ritchie, he's going to be able to take it again. Although maybe not so lucky, because he's going to get booked for taking it too quickly.
Well, if the referee's told him not to take it till I blow the whistle and you take it, it's a classic case of potentially running the clock down. Shelvey's just unloaded a shot that's gone right to the corner flag, and it's took them about 30 seconds to get the ball back.
Well, maybe Manchester United will be more switched on from this. Here is the corner, the free kick, sorry. Ritchie to take it in towards the near post. It's half away by Mata, and then Rashford can't win the second ball. And look at Jose Mourinho on the technical area, right on the edge of the pitch now, jumping, urging his team to get out from the back and move up the field, something that they haven't done, and they've given the ball back to Newcastle deep inside their own territory. And it's back on the left with Newcastle once again. Up it goes, through to the Japanese international Muto, out wide into the feet of Manquillo. Not a great ball forward by him. It's cut out by Manchester United, and David De Gea just launches it high into the air. It's obscured by the floodlights momentarily as it drops back down. Oh, again it comes back, and it's 4-on-3 in Newcastle's favour. Kennedy on the left-hand side, getting onto his left foot and shooting high towards the near post. It went over the top of the crossbar, but Manchester United once again all over the place, listless and lifeless as they try to defend. Elementary mistakes, individual errors, no accountability, no leadership, and they are incredibly fortunate that Newcastle aren't any better than they are, because it would be not a mountain to climb, it would be Everest.
You can tell when a team are lacking confidence and lacking anything about them is when the opposition breaking on your goal and they're 30 yards out. The amount of players that are the wrong side of the ball, the amount of players that are waving their arm, and the amount of players that are making no attempt to get back goal side as quickly as they can. And sadly, United had certainly 3 or 4 of those, Pogba being the main culprit on that occasion.
Martial cutting in from the left side into the area, ball towards the far post, headed by Rashford, but he was well wide of goal when he tried to tee it up for Mata, who was late arriving, and eventually it's going to be cleared away by Dubravka. 15 minutes gone in the second half. It's Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. Yeah, you heard me right. Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. You'll be able to have your say straight after the game with Stuart Pearce and Laura Woods. 08717 2233 4. It could be a pivotal night in the future of Manchester United here.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great indicator, really, isn't it? United have made 2 changes, both Mata and Fellaini. They're desperate for a goal. You've got Sanchez sat on the bench. You know, you would think with his goal-scoring record would be ideal to come and give impact of some description. And I mean, if he doesn't get off the bench for 90 minutes, really interesting statement.
Well, imagine how Lindelof feels sitting on the bench, seeing Bailly come off and McTominay moved into centre-half.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great man management, that, is it?
Well, I can understand why he's not brought a defender on for... he wanted to get Mata on the pitch, I can understand that, but you'd just as well leave a central defender on the pitch, you know?
Alexis Sanchez is warming up away to our left-hand side, so is Lindelof. And Jose Mourinho has one more throw of the dice. Here's Lukaku trying to bustle his way past Diame and Shelby. Shelby felt he was fouled there by Romelu Lukaku. The ball's run loose over on the far side. Mata is trying to keep it in, can't do so. It's out for a throw-in in the left full-back position. Jose Mourinho now calling upon his substitutes. Is he going to ask Alexis Sanchez to come on here? Well, Sanchez has turned and gone back again. Newcastle taking their time over proceedings, as you would expect. We've played 61 minutes of this game. They're not going to rush anything. Mike Ashley sitting down in front of us, looks very pleased with himself so far. Pogba out wide to the left, and Martial delivering another ball into the box, which Dubravka comes and punches well out towards the edge of the area. Young sends it forward again with a strong header. It's cut out, picked up by Smalling. Everyone in Newcastle jerseys is behind the ball. It's a poor ball forward by Matic, and here comes Yedlin on the right side. Oh, he's got away from Pogba, and Pogba's going to go in the book here. Yellow card for Pogba. They were threatening to counter-attack. Pogba wasn't going to have that and decided to take one for the team, clipping the ankles of DeAndre Yedlin, and a free kick has been given.
Yeah, once again, he's run past Luke Shaw as though he's towing a fridge, and then he's run past Pogba, and then the most cynical of challenges you've ever seen. I think challenges like that, when the opposition have gone past you, you've got no intention of playing the ball, almost should be red cards, personally.
Well, he stopped a certain attack of 4-on-3. And I don't think the set piece is as useful to Newcastle United, but they'll take it anyway, just right of the centre circle. And it's clipped forward by Shelvey. It's too much on that. It was driven towards the head of Fernandes, and Fernandes, as he's trotting back into his centre-half position, having run 50 yards to get up on the end of it, is telling John Joe Shelvey just that. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2 on Talksport with Just Eat, the app for all your takeaway needs. Such has been the magnitude of this game and the possible result. I haven't told you anything about what's upcoming on Talksport in the next few days. Believe me, there's so much as well. Tonight, overnight, we've got boxing for you. Tomorrow, 2:15 kickoff, we've got Southampton against Chelsea in the Premier League. NFL on 2 tomorrow, and we've got cricket starting next week. All live on Talksport and Talksport 2. Wednesday is the start of England's tour to Sri Lanka. Coverage of the first one-day international, 9 a.m. Wednesday, with play underway at 10 a.m. That's on Talksport 2. We've got a cricket podcast which is starting next week, following on with John Norman. Make sure you subscribe to that on iTunes. And remember, England travel to Croatia for the Nations League match behind closed doors. It's live on Talksport next Friday night. All the football all the time. You know it makes sense. As does bringing on Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, I think it was an absolute must. He needs something, and he needs something quickly, Jose. He needs a goal. And I've just noticing down to my left, Dan Ashworth's here, obviously on England duty, checking the form of the England players in the squad. And, well, it's fair to say Gareth's got some confidence to do to lift in the likes of Rashford and Shaw.
25 minutes to go. You're listening to Talksport. And it's Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 2. It's on halfway, not really going anywhere, Manchester United here. Across it goes to Pogba. Pogba just right of centre field. On to Mata, who's dropped deep to pick it up. Lukaku's 15, 20 yards outside the area. Back to goal, nowhere near where he needs to be to affect the play higher up the pitch. It comes back to Matic, out wide to Shaw. Shaw looking for a run from Martial. Martial, whose approach play has been okay, but his delivery into the box hasn't been great. That might be a better one, but it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, who watched it all the way. Good defending by Lascelles again to get in front of Fellaini. Because basically this is the tactic now. Get it out wide, get a cross in, look for Fellaini and try and pick up the pieces.
Well, they've certainly got numbers in the box now, so they're going to need a supply line, but they need quality one. You know, Fellaini's in there, Lukaku's in there, Rashford's in the box. They got players in there, but you need good quality on delivery.
Kennedy trying to escape away from Ashley Young down the left side for Newcastle. Stroked in towards Shelvey. Shelvey to Ritchie. Ritchie now inside the box, goes on the outside, produces a cross. It's a teaser, but it's nowhere near Iosi Perez, and the Spanish goalkeeper David De Gea comes out and takes the ball just in front of him and then bowls it upfield very quickly and tries to find Rashford. Rashford now trying to escape, but he's taking the ball out of play on this near side. Run it out of play. And he's now going to be replaced by Alexis Sanchez. It's Manchester United's final change, and he comes straight off, doesn't even look at his manager. His manager's at the other end of the technical area taking a swig from a water bottle, and he runs towards the back of the dugout, throws something down to the floor and stomps back to the top of the dugout behind Michael Carrick and slumps into his chair.
Got to say, Sammy, I was really looking forward to watching Rashford play today. He gets very few chances to start at United, and I'm always belly aching it when it comes to next week with England and whatever. But his performance today has just not been good enough, has it? Let's be quite honest with you. He's delivered nothing. He's had opportunity to score and missed a gilt-edged opportunity. And listen, if you play like that, the last person I'd want to look down their eyes is my manager, to be quite honest with you. He'll be really disappointed with that, I'm sure.
He's not the only one. The whole team's been bereft of confidence. It's been a evening to forget so far at Old Trafford. Off comes Kennedy. He's going to be replaced by Murphy, and Jacob Murphy, who's not had a great start to the season for him or his brother really. Josh, who's at Cardiff, lost again today, but those two twins, Youth Cup winners in their time, certainly are expected to do bigger and better things over the next few years.
I think he's played well today, Kennedy. Probably the best I've seen him play this season when I've watched Newcastle play live.
He had a struggle, didn't he, against Cardiff? It was awful in that game.
Yeah, he really was poor. And against Forest as well, he's disappointing.
Here is Mutu onto Perez down the right side. Oh, he's chopped back into the area and he's trying to pull it back. It comes off Matic and then Shaw will bring it clear. And then Pogba manages to hack it to halfway. But again, Newcastle United threatening with intricate football going forward down the Manchester United right. And Muto and Iosi Perez once again involved as Manchester United melt. Here on the right side is Sanchez, further towards Ashley Young. Young turns and comes infield now. He finds Martial. Martial tries to run into the box. He goes past Diame, gets tripped. That's going to be a yellow card for Diame and a free kick on the edge of the box for Manchester United.
There's some really disappointing challenges going in by both teams. Almost lazy defending. Just, you know, someone goes past you. Oh, I'll trip him over. I can't be bothered to run mentality.
He's given away a free kick here, Diame, in what I would suggest is a very tricky position for Manchester United, for Newcastle United to defend, because you've got the likes of Mata and Alexis Sanchez eager to impress and create, and it's in good range.
Yeah, I think it would be better suited for a left footer from that sort of distance. It really would. I've got to say, Dubravka's played really well. I think he's been a great acquisition by Newcastle.
Oh, brilliant. 4.5 million quid from Sparta Prague. It's an excellent bit of business from Newcastle United. Good goalkeeper. Was on loan last season. In the summer they made it permanent. Sanchez runs over the ball. Mata to take it in towards the near post. It's a delicious free kick from Juan Mata. He does not celebrate, even though the crowd do, because he knows there's much more work to be done here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Newcastle 2. Maybe, just maybe, it's game on.
Yeah, it was set up brilliantly for a really wide, set up brilliantly for a left footer. He's gone up and down over the wall superbly, and it's just grazed the post, I think. Certainly not too far from the post. Give the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Great free kick. Well done, Mata.
That was an excellent free kick from Juan Mata. And he hadn't scored too many goals recently for Manchester United. He won the Europa League under Rafa Benitez at Chelsea. It's his second goal of the season, and Manchester United are back in it with a pinpoint free kick. And you never know. Not that even if they do come back here, Stuart, it will wipe away the opening 70 minutes of this football match, which for Manchester United has been dismal, but it will certainly stop them from facing certain defeat. They're in with a chance. At the other end, here comes Ritchie with a little back heel, which was set up by Perez, and he almost squeezed it past David De Gea.
Yeah, I think we're on for a fantastic last 20 minutes. Well, we should be if United can get on the front foot and put some pressure on.
Here's Martial skating down the left-hand side. He's got support. Shaw, oh dear, he's just pushed it in front of Shaw, and it lollops out of play and goes out for a goal kick. Juan Mata goes across, picks the ball up by the advertising hoarding, comes down, places it for a goal kick, and says, come on, get on with it.
Yeah, I think Martial done everything right there. He come inside, and then I think Shaw sort of give up with a run. He thought he wasn't going to get the ball on the overlap. He just slowed his run up just at the time the pass was delivered to him.
Now is the opportunity for Manchester United to show that they really mean business. They haven't showed that they meant anything in the opening 70 minutes, but Juan Mata with a set-piece goal of precision quality, a left-footed curling effort which just kissed the inside of the near post as it came arcing back away from the goalkeeper, has given them hope, given this crowd hope that there may well be an unexpected comeback on the cards. Here is Martial down the left, looking to try and approach the area once more. So many of these runs have ended with him going down cul-de-sacs and not coming up with the goods in the end. He's chopped back this time and found Fellaini. Now it's on to Shaw. Shaw infield to Pogba. Pogba back to Fellaini with his back to goal. He tries to turn and gives it towards Luke Shaw. Shaw down to Martial, flicks it first time into Fellaini. It's a half-hearted effort which is easily cleared. Ritchie has it near side. Martial's brought him to the ground, and that's going to be a free kick. Michael Carrick, Silvio Loro, the goalkeeping coach or assistant manager, one of the assistants, comes out, has a word with Luke Shaw and a couple of others down in front of us. The fourth official, Stuart Atwell, is getting it in the neck from the Manchester United bench. Free kick taken by Newcastle. Shot upfield towards Jose Perez. It comes back through midfield where Fellaini picks it up, and then Pogba, and then Shelby comes across and tries to shut him down. It goes out and away for a throw-in on halfway. An abysmal first 45 minutes from Manchester United. But are they about to turn it round? Sometimes you need that. Sometimes the whole season can get a lift from a result which you weren't expected to get halfway through a match. Manchester United have been the kings of winning games late doors over the course of the Premier League years. They need that spirit, that character once again. Here's Pogba, clipping the ball into the box, looking for Martial. There's not too many around him. He finds Lukaku, comes back to Fellaini, great stop, pops back out into the 6-yard box. Sanchez chasing it, can't get there, goes behind corner. What a save from Dubravka.
It was, and he's made probably 3 or 4 outstanding saves now.
Bit of corner into the near post, Smalling there, great save again from Dubravka down to his right. He stopped Smalling from scoring a certain equaliser. Great agility from the Czech goalkeeper. Mata into the box, they're piling forward now. There's 5, 6 of them inside the area. Pogba with an overhead kick. And Dubravka just smothers it, swallows it, pulls it into his chest. Paul Pogba clenches his fist, his gloved fists, and screams in anguish because he can't quite believe that Manchester United from that situation haven't managed to score. Smalling denied by Dubravka, the latest in a trio of great saves from the Czech goalkeeper.
He's done outstandingly well there, and when the ball come in from the corner on second phase, it was 6 United players against 2 Newcastle defenders.
Wow. 15 minutes to go. Manchester United 1, Newcastle United 2. You're listening to Talksport live at the Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford. Newcastle, I think, starting to worry a little bit about Manchester United. Here comes Pogba from Alexis Sanchez to Mata, out wide, where picking it up is Anthony Martial. Shaw with a low cross into the box which took a deflection. It's helped away by Lascelles. It comes out on the near side. They need an escape route here, Newcastle. They might bring on Christian Atsu in just a second. Pogba to Martial. Lovely back heel. Lovely effort. There's the equaliser. Listen to the roof come off Old Trafford now. 2-0 down at half-time. It's Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 2. One of the worst home performances that Old Trafford has ever seen for 70 minutes. Somehow, Manchester United have pulled it back. The ball went down the left to Martial. He flicked it into Pogba, a back heel to Martial, and he rifled the ball in at the near post, and there was nothing that Dubravka could do that time. It's Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 2.
Great play there by Martial. We see that so too rarely probably in a United shirt, you know. But he's done really well there. Flicked the ball inside, got a little 1-2 back, then unloaded a shot in the near post. Now, sort of play for Newcastle have got to steady the ship. United have got to go on and win the game, because dropping 2 points here today is still unacceptable. In relation to being 2-0 down, it's a bonus, but still it ain't great if you're trying to chase Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea.
Here's the corner, over on the far side for Newcastle to attack it. Headed down by Diame, cleared off the line by Romelu Lukaku. A slap on the back from David De Gea, because he knew that that was a massive stop by the big Belgian striker, who has just prevented Newcastle taking the lead again. What an unbelievable game we've had here at Old Trafford. 2-0 at half-time to Newcastle United. Goals from Kennedy and Muto. Manchester United made 2 changes in the first half of the game. Mata first coming on for Bailly, and then at half-time, Fellaini coming on for McTominay. Rashford came off, Sanchez came on. Manchester United scored through Mata, a free kick after 70 minutes. And then Martial, with 15 minutes to go, 13 minutes to go, has scored to make it 2-2.
Sam, I've just looked at the replay of the corner we've just seen. That the Army had an absolute clear header. And Pogba's lost him. He's lost him by a good 5 yards. And you think, you're not going to win matches if you continually do stuff like that. For all the good work you could potentially put in a game, to mark like that from a corner is criminal.
Well, Manchester United have shown their character and their belief and their desperation to get back into the game. No doubt about that. Who they're doing it for, I don't know, themselves or for the manager or for the supporters. But the supporters stuck with them, urged them on, and they've repaid them by dragging themselves back into the game. 2-2 the score. You're listening to Talksport. It's with Atsu, who's just come on as a substitute for Yoshinuru Mutu, the goal scorer of the second Newcastle goal. He swings it out towards the left. Murphy picks it up. A low ball into the near post. Defended by Smalling. Kicks it out and away for a corner.
You can't help thinking there's going to be a twist in this one. I have no idea what direction it's going to go, but I've got a feeling there'll be a twist.
Well, Manchester United 2-0 down, 2-2, 10 minutes remaining at Old Trafford. We're set up for a grandstand finish, and we may well get one. Over on the far side, Newcastle have a corner. Ritchie arcing it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's flicked away by Martial. Sanchez wins it. Mata on Martial. He's running at an isolated DeAndre Yedlin. He's still going. He gets to the edge of the area. Mata's coming to help him out. It's behind Pogba. Picked up by Sanchez. Sent to the wide right towards Lukaku. It's overhit, but Lukaku's still got it. He's just about kept it in by the corner flag. Produces a cross into the near post. Away by Fernandes. It's picked up just inside the midfield by Ayoze Perez. Shelby's got it now. And space to turn. And he might well thump this over the top for Atsu to chase. He does that, but Atsu can't reach it. Matic mops up, and Manchester United build again.
Yeah, fantastic break by United then, and on that occasion, what the Old Trafford public want to see, 4 players bursting a gut to get up with Martial. That's how it should be at Old Trafford.
You can hear them singing, United are the team for me. That's the United crowd. Their response when they scored the equaliser, I mean, the whole place shuddered. The noise, the relief. But 2-2's not really enough. Here's Young down the right side, moving towards the corner flag. The ball hits Murphy, goes behind, off Ashley Young, and it's out for a corner. Remember, Manchester United haven't won here since the opening day of the season. Are they going to do it now? Let's check in with the latest odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner. The latest odds, Manchester United to go on and win the game, 6-4. Newcastle, 10-1 now to win the match. The draw is 3-4. If the correct score is 3-2 and you think it's going to be that to Manchester United, you can get 9-4. And full terms and conditions are available at betfair.com. 18+, please gamble aware. You're listening to Talksport on a dramatic night at Old Trafford. A morning which started with talk of Jose Mourinho being replaced. The Manchester United board were said to have briefed journalists that that was nonsense. At 2-0 down, I'm not sure just how nonsensical that was, but they've fought back to 2-2. And what now? And what now? Young has the ball on halfway, delivers the ball to the edge of the D. Fellaini goes up, away by Lascelles, picked up by Mata. It's on to Martial, who scored the equaliser for United. He moves into central midfield and gives it to Alexis Sanchez. Shaw down the left, Mata swirling across. Fellaini misses it. Lukaku can't hold on to it. It comes out as far as Jacob Murphy, who swashes the ball out towards the far side, swipes at it and sees it flick on halfway. There's no out ball now for Newcastle United, who are camped inside their own half.
Yeah, they seem to have allowed themselves just to drop back in and camp on the edge of their box, Newcastle. United's best option, work it wide and whip crosses in and get numbers in the box.
Here comes Shaw, down the left from Martial's pass, towards the left edge of the area. He produces a cross, it's low and hard, but cleared away by Lascelles. The second ball in from Sanchez is just routine for Dubravka, and he allows it to fall into his chest before walking up towards the 18-yard line and preparing to clear. But he'll wait and hold on to it for as long as humanly possible here, Dubravka. The whistles go around Old Trafford, and anxiety and nervousness has been replaced now with hope that the dramatic comeback is going to be complete. Here is Martial down the left. He swirls the ball into the centre. It's headed away by Lascelles. It's picked up by Ritchie. It's a bad header, but he gets it back to Yedlin. And now a chance to counter-attack for Newcastle United. It's with Atsu and then Perez. Perez now running at Matic, emergency centre-half. He pushes it past him and fancies his chances. Smalling comes across and closes the ground. It's hit against the knees of Chris Smalling by Ozzy Perez and goes out for a corner.
Yeah, every time Newcastle get the ball on the break now with the likes of Perez, if they get a one-on-one, two-on-two scenario and you've got Matic or Smalling, they've got to run them. They've got to go directly at them and run them. On those occasions, he skipped past Matic there, who had no answer to it.
Corner kick to be taken by Shelvey. And the midfielder sends a brilliant cross in towards the near post. Diame gets there. Oh, it's headed backwards by Matic, and it goes very close, perilously close to the right-hand upright before going behind and away for a second successive corner.
Well, Matic there got the flight of the ball horribly wrong. It looped up in the air. He's got right under it, and almost he either put Perez back on the ball or near enough. Well, he's fortunate Perez fell over.
And Newcastle have only had about 27% possession in the game, but they've had 8 shots on target, which is the same as Manchester United. 2-2, 6 minutes to go. Here's a corner for Newcastle, arced in towards the head of Fernandez. It's half cleared, and Martial is squeezed beyond Murphy and Atsu, and he's found Alexis Sanchez on halfway. There's still 5 defenders to try and beat here, which Sanchez tries to do, but Yedlin manages to find Atsu, and then Newcastle have managed to get it to halfway. They scrambled it up away from danger, but it's come straight back again. Martial, Mata, first time ball into the box. Fellaini controls with one touch and then can't get it down for a second. Pogba tries a shot, hits it into the ground. Mata flashed it through the box. Offside flag is up.
I'm surprised at Mata there. He'd come back from an offside position. He should have just left it for his teammate. He's got involved in it and got flagged offside. I think the public here at Old Trafford have been very patient on what they've seen. Second half's been better for them, but first half, even with that, there wasn't too many dissenters in the stadium.
OK, let's just put it into context. What's the overview at the end of the game? Forget the fact that it's been dramatic and it's been end-to-end in the last 2 minutes. Try and just hold that aside. The overview of the whole match. If you're watching this, what is your assessment of the way things are going for Manchester United?
They're playing with no confidence. There's too many players probably waving arms around, gesturing to the crowd, but not doing their own jobs. And they're playing against a team that are in the bottom 3, and it's been really hard work for them, and they're fortunate to have got away with a point, or fortunate if they score to get away with 3 points.
Pogba, Sanchez, through the 18-yard box it goes, but beyond Pogba, and it's picked up by Atsu, who races clear for Newcastle United. Of course, there is also the consideration that Newcastle might get one on the counter-attack. Not like that, they've given the ball straight to Nemanja Matic, who sent it wide towards the Manchester United right, midway inside the Newcastle half. And Lukaku in towards the near post, trying to send a cross, looking to pick out Fellaini or Sanchez. They don't run across the goalkeeper, and it's caught by Dubravka and cleared away. So 42 minutes are now on the clock. Jose Mourinho looks like a jack in a box. Is this going to be enough to save his job?
I think there'll be frustrations from both teams. Both teams have not been particularly clinical. They made mistakes at both ends. Newcastle might go into the international break and not won a game so far in 8, albeit they've had a real tough run of fixtures.
They have played Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea,
Manchester City,
Manchester United.
Yeah, which has been real tough for them, but they've had a 2-0 opportunity and lead here that they couldn't hang on to against a very poor United side.
Here's Martial moving towards the edge of the area after exchanging passes with Sanchez. He's found Lukaku, edge of the box on the overlap is Young. He's driven cross through the 6-yard box, is cleared away by Yedlin, and it's up towards halfway. Shaw can't control it, goes out for a Newcastle United throw, and Jose Mourinho races into the technical area of Rafa Benitez. Stuart Atwell just has a quick word to say, come back, would you? And he's trying desperately to get Fellaini to get back and help out, Sanchez to get back to help out, get this side of the ball. Going to be a change here for Newcastle, and they're going to bring on Joselu here. He's already scored 2 headed goals for Newcastle this season. In fact, prior to today, he'd scored half of Newcastle's Premier League goals, 2. And he's coming on for Ayoze Perez, who I must admit has worked incredibly hard.
Yeah, he's caused some problems for United today. A really nervous United backline.
They've won the ball high up the pitch here. Atsu back to Murphy. Joselu's gone running into the box over on the far side. Ritchie is running down the right, but the ball to him wasn't great. And look at Jose Mourinho having a go at Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial isn't doing anything. Now Anthony Martial is standing there looking at his manager, who's on his knees trying to drag him back into position and follow the ball, and he's just not doing it. Here come Manchester United once again. 2-2 the score. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining of normal time at the end of the 90 minutes here on a dramatic day at Old Trafford. Is there going to be another late twist in this match? Lukaku handing off one defender, running into Diame, but giving the ball to Mata. He's on the right side. He produces a left-footed cross. Fellaini is up there. And Dubravka manages to punch it through the hair follicles of Fellaini, and there's quite a few of those, and out towards this near side and away for a throw level with the edge of the area.
Yeah, I think what we need, well, what United need is Lukaku in the box rather than being out wide, setting things up and crossing himself.
Well, it doesn't get any easier for Manchester United. They've got Chelsea away after this, Juventus at home, Everton at home, Bournemouth away, Juventus away, and Manchester City away. If they think this one's tough, imagine what those games are going to be like. Here on the right side is Lukaku, looking for Pogba, who's halfway inside the area now. Further wide to Young. His cross into the box. Up there is Sanchez! Oh, yes! They've done it! They have done it! Another twist in the tangled tale of Jose Mourinho and Manchester United. 2-0 down at half-time, 3-2 in the 90th minute. Is it going to be enough to save his job? I don't know, you don't know, but the fact is they have produced a stunning comeback at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 3, Newcastle United 2.
Well, we knew there had to be a sting in the tail one way or the other in this game. United have got so many attacking players on, and it was that man who's been iced out of it a little bit, Sanchez, that rose brilliantly to get a header into the bottom right-hand corner. And they've really dug this one out, United, but the story for me potentially won't be the turning a 2-0 deficit round. The interaction between Martial and the manager a minute ago, when Martial's looking at the manager who's begging him to run back and defend, and he just stood there and looked at him.
Listen. Old Trafford sings the words, Jose Mourinho. As Manchester United come forward again. It's Sanchez looking for Lukaku. This time it doesn't quite work, and it goes behind and away. It doesn't go behind and away. It doesn't go behind and away because Juan Mata, who's probably been the best player on the pitch for United throughout the course of the minutes that he's been on it, which is when he came on after 19 minutes as a substitute in an emergency situation, has scurried to the corner flag and stopped it from going out for a goal kick and forced the throw-in. That's the attitude that Jose Mourinho wants, but not just from one, from everyone.
Yeah, he's looked very, very genuine out there, Mata. You know, he's been fantastic professional in his time, but you're right, he's the one when the ball's gone dead has chased it off the pitch to retrieve it quickly, to get Newcastle playing quickly, and he's the one that sort of has offered that something.
Well, I didn't see this coming at half-time.
Well,
anyone did.
We thought today might be a unique day in football, you know, speculation about the manager and one thing and another, but it's just been an amazing day in Premier League history, I think.
Well, Jose Mourinho doesn't win 25 major trophies without knowing how to deal with adversity. You don't win 8 league titles in 4 different countries without having something about you. He's had to make bold changes today. I've still got to maintain the first 70 minutes of this football match, Manchester United were as shapeless and as lethargic as I think I've ever seen them. Here's Martial picking the ball up in centre field, out wide to the left. Sanchez with a driven shot which is curling back towards the goalkeeper. He was 30 yards out when he hit it. It didn't have enough to beat Dubravka, and he collects it and then rolls it out to Shelvey. We're in stoppage time. 5 minutes have been added. There's a big banner away to our left that says Jose is a winner, Woodward is a loser. By the way, it was World Smile Day yesterday. We may well get one out of Jose Mourinho tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the press conference will look like. I'm sure he'll go in the dressing room, collect himself, have a few minutes, and to be fair, when you win matches, it's always that little bit easier to face the press and deliver what you want to deliver as a manager.
Shelvey clips it forward, looking for an equaliser now. How are Newcastle United looking for an equaliser after leading for so long? But they could end up conceding again, because Sanchez is trying to get on the end of a Mata ball from halfway, which went in between the centre-backs. Lascelles has squeezed it back to Dubravka under pressure from Sanchez, who's running around and putting a bit of pressure on the Czech goalkeeper, and it's cleared away. All the camera lenses are trained on Jose Mourinho.
So United at this stage should really get the ball, take the sting out of the game, keep possession for the next 4 minutes. In years gone by, they would have done. It's all still harem scarum. They're looking at, they don't know whether to go and try and score a goal, lump it forward. They're really undecided.
No one knows really what's going on. It's been one of the most chaotic afternoons of Premier League football. A day which started dismally for Jose Mourinho may end in delight. A bit of relief for what has been a dark 24 hours for the manager, who's been brooding and moody for as long as I think we can remember now. It's been a long time since we see him share in the delight. Here's Lukaku dancing into the box down the right side. Tackle comes in from Fernandes just at the right moment. It's out for a corner. Now look at Mourinho now, going over to Matic, dancing up towards the halfway line, telling him to squeeze and to move and trying to get some sort of indication out to the far side. He's got a message that he wants to portray, to give to Juan Mata. He's given it to Matic, who's given it to Fellaini, who's gone to Ashley Young. Now he's saying, keep the ball in the corner. They've played the 5 added minutes. Manchester United on the verge of a massive turnaround. They had nothing at half-time, no chance, no energy, no dominance in the game. Newcastle were the better team. They had created the better chances. They could have been 4-0 down. I wonder if Rafa Benitez will point to the fact that when they were 2-0 up, they should have had a penalty. David De Gea made a cracking save. Manchester United have then come back and scored a stunning free kick from Mata. Martial with a good goal. And then the clincher, the winner from Alexis Sanchez. A man who has been on the periphery of things so far this season. His first goal of the campaign. He's never scored against Newcastle before, Alexis Sanchez, but he may well have scored the most important goal in Jose Mourinho's Manchester United history, because Manchester United have won at home for the first time in 8 weeks. Does that mean that Jose Mourinho goes into the international break with a smidgen of breathing space and a chance to reset and reboot Manchester United's season? Or does it mean that he's signing off his Manchester United reign with only their second home win of the season? We will wait with bated breath.
Sam, I've got to say, I have never seen a game finish and a reaction from 2 sets of players like I've just seen. It's almost shell-shocked from Newcastle. If someone would have said Newcastle had just been relegated, that would be my reaction I would expect. If someone said United, they've just missed out on winning a major trophy, I would say that's what I'd expect. It's been quite incredible. Everyone just stopped in their tracks and bent over double.
Everybody is absolutely exhausted, spent. But it's been a classic Premier League football match. I don't know how the scoreline reads like this, but it does. Manchester United 3, Newcastle United 2.
Newcastle United were 2-0 up at half-time. Manchester United came out in the second half a completely different team. Goals from that 19-minute substitution, Juan Mata. The second from Anthony Martial, a player who's been out of favour under Jose Mourinho. And the third from one Alexis Sanchez. He came off the bench, a player who struggled in a United shirt. Scores the winner, seals a 3-2 victory at Old Trafford, and may have just bought his manager, Jose Mourinho, the man that signed him, a little bit more time. What on earth did Jose Mourinho say to his players at half-time? Hopefully Sam Massaface will go down in the tunnel and find out for us, and get back to us a little bit later. Loads more coming up on Talksport and Talksport 2. Tomorrow, Sunday, Bristol City taking on Sheffield Wednesday, that's on Talksport 2. Southampton versus Chelsea on Talksport. Israel versus Scotland, that's in the Nations League, that is on Talksport 2 on Thursday. And on Friday, Croatia versus England, that is on Talksport. And then Austria versus Northern Ireland on Talksport 2 on Saturday the 13th of October. Holland taking on Germany in the Nations League, that's on Talksport 2. And on Monday the 15th, Spain versus England and Bosnia versus Northern Ireland, the latter there on Talksport 2. And finally on Tuesday the 16th of October, France taking on Germany, also on Talksport 2. Stuart Pearce is sat next to me. We're at Old Trafford looking at what just happened, everything that unravelled in front of our eyes, and he looks just as shell-shocked as everybody else. The players, the fans, the managers, the owners who were both in attendance here at Old Trafford. Stuart Pearce, I've never seen a game like that. The first half, Newcastle came out and absolutely bossed it. Manchester United looked like a team with no teeth, no confidence, no management potentially. What on earth would Jose Mourinho have gone and told his team to then inspire a second half performance like that here at Old Trafford?
Well, firstly, you say you cannot go out in the second half and play as badly as you have in the first half. You've got to put a hell of a lot more effort in, put a bit more sweat on your shirt as a starting point. Stop waving your hands at your teammates and the crowd to make out that you're doing your bit and the rest of them are letting you down. And across the board, to a man, they had to do better. I think the introduction of Mata and Fellaini, who I thought were very, very genuine in their endeavours, helped the team. And Sanchez getting his goal helped. But they were fortunate that they're up against the Newcastle side in the bottom three that they're trying, but they're lacking that little bit of quality at the moment. And they managed to grapple a victory in an incredible game. But those performances won't be enough to drive United where they want to be at the end of the season.
Anthony Martial, some of the players as well. Paul Pogba with his shirt off, going around and clapping the fans here at Old Trafford, who after the first half probably would have felt like they wanted to leave this game. How will they be feeling now, and how confident will they be feeling going forward into the rest of the Premier League after that?
Well, let me address the players and the supporters. I think the supporters will probably be walking out the stadium, relieved that they've won a game, but scratching their head and wouldn't have a clue their emotions. Some of them thinking, knowing full well, look, it can't be right. That first half performance suggests that things aren't right at our football club. That will be their initial thought process. Relief that they've managed to win a game and keeping some sort of connection with the top of the division. The other side of that is, from the players' point of view, if the players cannot go away from Old Trafford and think to themselves, the performance that they've put on in the main to a man was good enough today. Don't let the result kid you. That weren't a good enough performance from Manchester United.
There are some banners in the stands here saying "Still United with Jose Mourinho." At half-time, there are people on Twitter saying that is it, he's going. Before the match even started, the newspapers were saying whatever happens today, he will be leaving. Now that they've finished 3-2, surely that's going to buy him some time.
A win, a draw, or defeat shouldn't make any difference whatsoever if you've got a long-term plan of a football club, and that's probably half the thing that frustrates me as a sort of manager, coach, whatever it may be. The fact that can all depend on one result. It shouldn't be like that. It should be, look, there's a clear path about what we're trying to achieve. whatever the result was at the end of the game today should have no reflection whatsoever. I know what I've seen with my own eyes, and that wasn't a good performance, and it was a very lacklustre performance by too many players.
But even strung together in a series of results that they have had, a series of negative results for Manchester United, can one bad performance, if this hadn't have turned on its head, and if Manchester United hadn't come out in the second half with the performance that they had done, would those string of results not put pressure on one manager?
I think it would have done, and not necessarily the string of results, but probably more so, Laura, the performance. You know, too many players. When you start seeing players waving their arms around, and you know, it's almost saying to the crowd, "Look, I'm doing my bit, but the others aren't particularly good." That's a horrible sign to see on any football pitch. We
were sat here just up from the halfway line, and to our left, in the directors' boxes or in that area of seating just next to the tunnel, was Mike Ashley. When the first and the second goals went in, he punched the air. He had a massive smile on his face. He had a huge entourage with him. Probably 6 or 7 mates sat in those row of seats. Watching that performance from Newcastle, my first question is, should he not have been incredibly inspired by his team to come to Old Trafford today, and considering that they haven't picked up a win at all this season, look at that team and go, I'm proud of that team, I want to invest in that team?
Well, I would say that he would certainly, as an owner at a football club, I would look at their endeavours today and say, they're probably giving their lot, you know, but giving their lot weren't enough to beat Manchester United today. In the second half, you might turn around and say, hang on, game management was a touch awry by Newcastle. They ended up making as many mistakes as Manchester United did on occasion. But they, you know, and I've said it in weeks gone by when we've been on the phone in, Newcastle have had an absolute stinker of first opening 8 matches of the season. They played 6 out of 8 of their games have been against the top 6 sides. So it's been a tough start for them. Judge them probably on the next 12 games, if you like.
All right, let's get the full-time report then from Bolton versus Blackburn. Simon Humphrey is at the University of Bolton Stadium.
And it's finished. Bolton Wanderers 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Tony Mowbray's side up to 9th in the table after their first win at Bolton since 2009. Bradley Dack scored the winner from close range on 22 minutes. Reed's shot was blocked by Wheater, and Dack was on hand to slam home the rebound for his 8th goal of the season, his 6th in the league. Josh McGuinness was then denied by a superb fingertip save by David Raya, and then when he did beat the keeper, Charlie Mulgrew was on hand to clear the ball off the line. Chances were few and far between in the second half. Wanderers thought they'd won a penalty 2 minutes from time when the referee pointed to the spot for a foul on Christian Deutsch, but the linesman had his flag up for offside. Victory then for Rovers elevates them up to 9th. Bolton remain in 16th going into the international break. Full time here at the University of Bolton Stadium. Bolton Wanderers 0, Blackburn Rovers 1.
OK, back here at Old Trafford, the game has finished 3-2 to Manchester United. 3 goals for them in the second half. It was Newcastle who opened up the scoring of the first and second goal. Quite incredible the way it absolutely flipped on his head. Let's sort out our delivery of the day now with Just Eat.